begin, I'd like to start with I know they snuck out, but a round of applause for our quartet led by music faculty member Zoon Heen Woo, Sin Jae Chung, Jennifer Woo, and Crystal Park. They're on a brief intermission. They'll be back later today so we can enjoy more music for today's festivities. Welcome to Fullerton College. I am Dr. Gilbert Contreras. I'm currently the interim president of Fullerton College, and it is so beautiful to see the college come to life again. A few Saturdays ago, we hosted Love Fullerton. There were thousands of people from the community on our quad, in our campus. It was absolutely beautiful to see. Last night, we had thousands of high school seniors and their families in our quad and on our campus for FC Days. A week from Saturday, there will be more than 8,000 people at Scherbeck Field for our commencement exercises, celebrating the accomplishments of our students and the largest graduating class in the history of Fullerton College. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this momentous day as we celebrate a new beautiful home for our Humanities division. 2 years and 3 months ago, we gathered in the same location for the groundbreaking with no idea what was to come 1 month later. It was the college's last community celebration before the COVID-19 shutdown. Today, we gather not just to marvel at this impressive new structure, but to celebrate the enormous effort it took to build it safely, on time, and under budget. The new building is an impressive space designed to meet the unique needs of our various humanities disciplines. However, most importantly, it's a catalyst to strengthen and grow the community among our humanities faculty, staff, and students. Math people are welcome too. For decades, our humanities division has been spread out all over the campus. Now, under one roof surrounding a beautiful courtyard, they can gather, teach, learn, and build community in a space all their own. We will hear from several folks who made this possible for Fullerton College, and after my fellow speakers, I give a few remarks about this momentous day. Everyone will have the opportunity to explore the Humanities Building and enjoy guided tours of the central utility plant. Let me begin by introducing a few guests today. And if I can ask the guests to stand, and if we can hold our applause until we get through a long list of guests to recognize. From our Board of Trustees, Jackie Rodarte, Stephen Blount, Jeff Brown, Barbara Dunchie, Evangelina Rosales, former trustee Leonard Latinen, and student trustee Aaron LaCourte. Our Chancellor, Byron Cliff Breland, the President of Cypress College, Joanna Schilling, NOCE President Valentina Pertel, Vice Chancellor of Finance and Facilities, Fred Williams, Vice Chancellor of Human Resources, Irma Ramos, District Director of Public and Government Affairs, Kai Stearns, Fullerton College Vice Presidents, Rodrigo Garcia, Elaine Lipis Gonzalez, Jose Ramon Nunez, Executive Director of the Friends of Fullerton College Foundation, Zoot Velasco, Paulette Chafee, representing Orange County Supervisor Doug Chafee's office, and board member for the Friends of Fullerton College. Eddie Carmona, representing Assemblywoman Sharon Quirk Silva, Sam Nafea, representing Assemblywoman Philip Chen, Assemblymember Philip Chen, Sarah Mendoza, representing Congresswoman Young Kim, Scott Doe from Senator Newman's office. Round of applause for our guests today. We will hear from some additional speakers and I will introduce them, and please hold your applause. BNB Project Executive Jeremy Turner, Principal at R&T Architects, Raul Diaz. Retired Dean, Dan Willoughby. Interim Dean, Kim Orligen. Our student, Ita Palma. Professor Jeanette Rodriguez. Administrative Assistant, Humanities Alumni, Amy Schrack. And a big welcome to our students, faculty, classified professionals, and administrators who joined us today. I'd like to commend the team that planned, designed, and built this impressive building with careful attention on the needs of our students. Thank you so much to our partners at R&T Architects and B&B Builders for your partnership and support, and my deep gratitude to our local community for passing Measure J in 2014, which provided the essential funding needed for this project. Now, as we move from speaker to speaker, the speaker will introduce the next speaker. And at this point, it's my pleasure to welcome to the microphone from the North Orange County Community College District, the President of the Board of Trustees and former student of distinction at Fullerton College, Jackie Rodarte.
Much shorter, so give me a quick second. Thank you for joining us on this sunny day to celebrate the opening of Fullerton College's new Humanities Building. My name is Jacqueline Rodarte, and I'm the President of the Board of Trustees for the North Orange County Community College District. As a former Hornet myself, being here for this unveiling is very special. My memories of being a student at Fullerton College revolve around the wisdom of my professors and the warmth of my friends, but also around the physical site itself, with a sense of history and wonder. I really appreciate that the college leadership and architects have paid tribute to the incredible buildings that Fullerton already possesses and have created a place for scholarship that blends so seamlessly into this beautiful campus. I want to thank everyone who voted for Measure J in 2014, securing the funding for this building and many other projects. We are blessed to have a community that believes in the mission of Fullerton College and supports our students so completely. Thank you. I would like to introduce Chancellor Breland at this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Board President Rodarte, former student of distinction, Fullerton College. I wanted to say, first of all, this is fantastic to be here. I feel like a new student myself, being a part of this district in my 4th month as the Chancellor for North Orange County Community College District. And I just want to say welcome to all of our guests. And I want to thank everyone who had anything to put together this fantastic event. So let's give them a great big round of applause. We often forget about the work that's done to set this up, from the chairs to the microphones, cameras, and all the history-making photos that we're going to see later throughout our time here together. So first I'll start and just say this new construction of the Humanities Instructional Building and the Central Utilities Plant upgrade represents the culmination of a lot of hard work, and it's something that we have wanted for Fullerton College as well as our district for many years. Everyone did a wonderful job as we provided new and returning students better facilities as they continue their education. The intent is that this wonderful new environment will contribute, of course, to student success. And of course, we could not have done this without the support of the taxpayers, as they've assisted us in not just passing the Measure J, but also the ongoing funding for Measure J. Now, this is just one step in a series of many in our updated facilities and education master plans, which identifies the upgrades we must make in the coming years to our campuses in order to ensure that our educational facilities remain state-of-the-art and our students are prepared and competitive as they enter the workforce or transfer to four-year universities. More and more students now are beginning to choose community colleges as their first option to getting their education. And this building is a very welcomed addition to our district's footprint in that journey. Being located in the heart of the Fullerton campus, and is an important part of Fullerton College overall, which is a dynamic learning community with accomplished educators and staff who are passionate about student success. It is imperative that we make sure that we are providing opportunities for our students to be a part of the learning experience and the innovation that is taking place all around us. And we have an obligation to the taxpayers that support us to make the necessary upgrades to our facilities before the cost of construction becomes even more expensive in the future. And as I understand it, this is the first new construction at Fullerton College in 10 years. This is indeed a very historic moment for all of us. Our community colleges are the equity engine of the economy and frankly, the entire system of higher education. By building strong programs that serve the educational and workforce needs of our region and our diverse student body, this will help lead the way in diversifying the future of the workforce and of course the new economy. By continuing to create clear college pathways, we can ensure that all of our students have access to affordable higher education opportunities, including the ability to transfer to a four-year university. Our district currently has the highest rate of transfers to CSU Fullerton than any other district in the state of California, and we're looking to build on that impressive statistic. Our students also need the ability to obtain the skills and training necessary to step into a high-skill, high-wage, high-demand career. Programs that will be housed in these facilities, such as communication studies, mindfulness, English as a second language, English, and reading will contribute to that goal. The Humanities Division also has strong partnerships with Puente, Honors Program, Study Abroad Program, as well as the Academic Support Center. Again, I want to thank everyone and anyone who participated in the construction of this fantastic facility. And while these buildings are made of mere brick and mortar, and let's face it, they really won't last forever. It seems like it, but they won't last forever. The learning that will take place, the stories that will unfold, the legacies that will be born, and the lives that will be transformed will remain in our hearts forever. And with that, again, I want to thank you all for being here to celebrate this momentous occasion with us. And it's now my pleasure and honor to introduce our next speaker, which is Mr. Rod Garcia, who is the Vice President of Administrative Services at Fullerton College. So come on up, Rod. Let's give Rod a round of applause.
Good morning. Bear with me. I'm not used to using a mic. Most of the time, people have no problem hearing me when I said, no, I do not have any more money. So good morning, everybody. We are here to celebrate the completion of the new home of our Humanities Division. It's the first time in a long time that the Humanities Division gets to call one building their home. Before this, they were scattered all over this campus. As Dr. Brillin mentioned, this is one of our first projects that we've completed in over 10 years. You know, the saying goes, it takes a village, but I want to change that up a little bit. You know, in my mind, I think it takes a family, because that's what the Fullerton College culture is all about. You know, we care about our students, we care about our staff, we care about our communities, and as you can see, we definitely care about our facilities. You know, when we started this construction project, the world was hit with a pandemic and we had to pivot and figure out how are we going to continue with construction. It took a lot of planning, not only from the campus, also from the design build team, to figure out how we were going to complete this project without significant delays. And I also want to commend our executive team who worked together to make this project a successful project amongst all the unknowns that we've had to face. You know, if there's one thing that was a positive thing about COVID, was that for about now a little bit over 2 years, I haven't had one person come up to me and said, there is no parking in this campus. So, which used to happen every day. But I want to take this time, the opportunity to really thank the dedicated professionals that played a instrumental role in this $54 million project. And I'm going to go ahead and get started first with the Fullerton College personnel who was involved in every detail of this project. Our Campus Capital Projects team, Oscar Seguier, Megan Moskal, and Myra Polito. Our facilities team, Larry Lara, Randy Harris, Stephen Trapp, and the entire M&O team, our campus facility team, our ACT team, which all played an instrumental part in this project. Our Humanities Division, I know earlier I saw Dan, our recently retired Dean, there you are. Thank you for your leadership throughout this process. The user group, I know Jeanette, I know you were in there, Amy, the entire group, thank you for sharing your vision and your thoughts throughout the design phase. Our district colleagues, Fred Williams, Rick Williams, Jenny Ho, the entire finance department, thank you. Our bond management team, Moss, Gilberto, and Eduardo, thank you for your support and your partnership. Of course, our design build team who helped us turn this conceptual design into this beautiful building that you see here today. BM Builder, thank you, Jamie Alford, Jeremy Turner, Doug Allen, and the entire B&B team. R&T, Raul Diaz, Ralph Rosling, Brandon Martella, and again, the entire, I can't name every single person on the team, thank you. And of course, as Dr. Contreras and Dr. Braylon said, this facility would not have been made possible without the support of our community who passed our Measure J GEO bond about 8 years ago. Thank you to the community. And I also want to thank our Citizens Oversight Committee. They volunteer their time to support and to provide support and oversight of all our Measure J projects, this one included. So thank you for that. Now, before I turn it over to Jeremy Turner, I'd like to once again thank everyone who contributed to the success of this project, truly making a difference in our student educational journey. Thank you. And now I'd like to now invite Jeremy Turner up to the podium.
Hello, Fullerton College. Glad to be home. I know that comment that Rod made about not having no more money was directed at me. But I will say, this project was big for me in my career. You know, when they introduced this project to me, I was very excited about it because it was a ground up. I didn't have any experience at Fullerton College. I was kind of new to California still. But we received NTP in February of 2020, and then COVID hit in March and shut the whole country down. So I thought to myself, like, this is the end of my career. This project is getting ready to go down to the tube, go down, and I'm gonna be the one responsible for it. But unfortunately, everyone worked together. We made great relationships out here. We had a great contractor pool. We had a great relationship with the architect, and we worked through everything, and it was amazing. And I'm very proud of this project. Like they said, we finished on time, which was unheard of during the pandemic. And we're actually returning money back to the district. So I'm happy about that, and then the district was polite enough to give us the next project, so we're working through that. But honestly, I just want to say thank you for, trusting us with the design, trusting us with the construction, working with us, and being team players, because it was a great experience for me, for my team. A lot of the people who are part of my team are here today. They're going to actually escort you guys around the building and whatnot. But I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope we can give you the next one as well. So thank you. But I want to introduce Raul Diaz. He was my counterpart on the design team, R&T Architects principal, great guy. Be nice to him.
Thank you, Jeremy. So hopefully everybody can hear me. It's been a great adventure to build this during the pandemic and everything, and I think the results are fantastic, better than we could have imagined. The design build process was led from the R&T team with Ralph Rosling. It included Brandon Martella, Catherine Lang, and Summer Spencer. So a lot of hours were spent figuring out a lot of these details. It was a great educational experience for us to learn how to speak to these amazing historical buildings that are on campus here. I also want to recognize our other design consultants. Kaufman engineers were the structural and the fire protection. EXP engineers were the electrical. MA was the plumbing and mechanical, and KPFF did all the civil, and we had an amazing landscape architect, Spurlock landscape architects that did just a fantastic job being able to pinpoint these small areas that we gave them and really do something with them. I especially want to thank the Fullerton College team. I know Rod and him staying with the design of the dome, saying it is important that it be there. It is important that the seal be on the floor. Moments like that are what create a really good building. So I want to thank Rod for that. I want to thank Oscar and Megan for keeping us on task. And just everybody involved. You know, the building committee was very helpful, very efficient. They knew what they wanted. They were able to communicate it really well, which I guess is to be expected from a humanities division. They were very succinct, so it worked out incredibly well. So with that, it's my humble duty and great pleasure to welcome to the stage Dean Dan Willoughby.
Taller. Yeah, so I just said to Raul, remember, retired dean. I think that's important. Anyway, good morning, and thank you for inviting me back to today's event. It was an honor and a privilege to work with the team of people who made this incredible new humanities building possible. And there's so many people to recognize, you know, other than me. But I want to call out a few who really made this a positive experience for us in the humanities division. So first of all, the building user group, as previously mentioned, provided great, often, you know, quite vivid input that shaped the building into what you see today. And that included Joe Carithers, Arthur Hoy, Kelly Kim, Stephanie Piazza, Jeanette Rodriguez, Amy Schrack, and though he wasn't technically on the building user group, Mike Mangan, he was on the interview team that interviewed for our architectural and construction firms. And that was a really critical inflection point in making the experience a positive one. And so speaking of that, B&B builders and R&T architects were really a pleasure to work with. Not that I've worked with so many, I haven't built that many buildings, but anyway. In particular, Raul Diaz and Summer Spencer from R&T Architects, they would bend over backwards in between our meetings and try to accommodate all sorts of, you know, new requests that we had in designing the building. And they'd come back with diagrams and responses and details, and it was really, really tremendous. So during the construction, I had the dubious pleasure of attending weekly construction meetings on Microsoft Teams with Jeremy and Raul and others, which that was not the dubious part of the pleasure, but there was a lot of technical jargon and unfamiliar abbreviations. Most of the time I was just kind of like going, what in the heck are they talking about? So Megan Mescal was a lifesaver in that process. I mean, she helped to like translate like what they were talking about. I could text her and go, what are they talking about? Is it good or bad? And run interference for us when issues arose during the construction process that required our input. Then once the actual move into the new building happened, and of course we were kind of on pins and needles like most of the time, like are we moving, are we not moving, we're moving in December, we're moving in July, we're moving in October, yeah. Anyway, when it finally did happen, Our classified staff, Carol Rayfield, Tammy Plackey, Jason Lopez, and especially Amy Schrack, took on the lion's share of the packing, unpacking, and just to kind of cover a lot of other things, the settling in into the new building. This building has a lot of electronic locks, which ended up causing quite a monumental programming task. So for that, there's a lot of people involved, but Jim McCamey was our liaison with that, and he stepped up to the plate, and I believe he still might be tinkering with that program even like today. He's probably over in his office doing that if he isn't directing traffic. So thank you to that. And so I wanted to add one other thank you to Rod. So I have a lot of reasons to thank Rod, but one of them is that he took my suggestion to, I guess, name the building, the 2400 building. And I did think that Willoughby Hall had a much better ring to it. But barring that, he took the suggestion of the 2400 building. And so, fun fact, my birthday is on the 24th. So when you look up at the building and you see 2400, that's like Da Vinci Code for Willoughby Hall, just so you know. So now with the building ready to go, daily life inching towards some semblance of, normality, I guess, the building will be able to fulfill its promise of creating a sense of community among students, faculty, and staff in the Humanities Division. And to bring up someone who can talk more about that, I'd like to introduce Interim Dean of Humanities, Dr. Kim Orligen.
Thank you, Dan, for those words, for your many years of dedicated service to the college and to the division, and for helping to shepherd this building through the process to completion. Welcome, everybody, today. The official opening of this building is, of course, more symbolic than actual. Classes have met and continue to meet, actually are happening right now, this semester. The division staff has been hard at work in the division office. Faculty have worked in and Zoomed from their offices. Students have been learning in the classrooms, and several events have already occurred in our beautiful courtyard. But today serves as an important symbolic marker. Just as those giant scissors over there serve less as a functional tool, although I think they are kind of sharp, so be careful, Dan. So too does this opening serve less as an opportunity to celebrate a new building on campus and more of a chance to celebrate building on campus. We celebrate building community and connection as we look forward to the summer and the fall and the many years ahead. More folks in those years ahead will be able to interact in real life, in classrooms, offices, hallways, and the courtyard. For this building is much more than beautiful tiles and thoughtful design. Rather, it acts as a means to help the Humanities Division, faculty, staff, and students interact in one space. Gathering under one roof will allow the faculty and staff in the division to build a stronger sense of community, as has been mentioned before, with each other and with our students. We will be able to take advantage of the moments outside of our meetings and classes, when we bump into each other and chat in the hallways, when we gather in the meeting rooms, when we share coffee in the courtyard. When we are all under one roof, we will be able to collaborate on our work more effortlessly and intentionally. But more so, we will be able to connect in various quotidian ways that help build trust and a sense of community. We are all in this together, And being in this building together will reinforce our shared goals and our shared commitment to the work we do and the students we serve at Fullerton College in the decades to come. I'd like to introduce our next speaker, who is award-winning forensics/comm studies student Ita Palma. Welcome.
Thank you, Kim, for introducing me. So, hello, good morning, everyone. I'm just so happy to be back in person. It's been so long. I'm so tired of looking at a screen, so just looking at all the lovely faces, thank you so much for coming out here. For a little bit more about myself, my name is Ita Palma. I am an integral part of our humanities department. I'm not only a student and also a speech and debate competitor, but I'm also a tutor for comm studies. And it has really inspired me to be more of a public speaker, and I started my own journey on becoming an ordained minister. So I love speaking in front of people. Can you tell? All right. And so I wrote a little interpretive piece that I've titled 2400. The fountain of knowledge is located in 2400, literally, waiting ever so patiently for the flow of students, just like how we were for its conception. No longer do we have to run in the other direction, forming my case and argument here, and then run over the river and through the theater department to catch the office hours of my English professor. Hopefully I missed them again. No more do we have to find a fairly vacant space to recite my speech. Bystanders now collateral with the obligatory "shut up" from yonder dude bro. And to you, I say never more, for we can rehearse behind sound dampening closed doors. Gather and rejoice where professors aren't in pigeonholes, where fellow competitors, speech and debater alike, can elaborate. The classrooms don't feel like crates. I don't have the English vernacular to express how close foreign language and English are now, except osoba, muy cerca, medye. The desks and labs are cushy and new. The best part, you don't have to share. A privilege so long overdue. A squad room to start scheming how we're gonna sting them at nationals. Well, somebody's gotta fill that trophy case and the entrance. So I have to say goodbye to the 100-meter dash to my next class. So long, crowded and cramped communal space in the 500 building. The speech and debate team will not miss you. Bye-bye, Zoom rooms of doom. Every class felt like the new episode of the Brady Bunch. I can't help it. I have a hunch. Maybe Dan Willoughby had the right idea to put the human back in humanities. Lots of communal space where the study feels like art. This domed building fit to let me express and speak my part. Enter the doors to find the fountain of knowledge. If you get lost, it's located in 2400. Thank you. You've been so kind. All right, and then next speaker, I would like to introduce fellow professor Jeanette Rodriguez.
Thank you for that introduction, Ita, and thank you for that interpretive piece. Hello and good morning, everyone. I want to start by sharing one of the most important things that I learned as participating in the building user group for this building. I learned that buildings have their own language. They're communicating with us and they're telling us their history. If you walk around this campus, every building has its own story to tell. And I know, leave it to the communications professor to talk about the way the buildings communicate. But, as I participated in this group, I frequently wondered, what will our building say? What message will it communicate to the rest of our campus community? One message that I hope it communicates is bienvenidos, or welcome. This newest addition to our campus was intentionally designed as a welcoming space. We thought about cultivating a sense of belonging every step of the way, creating a collaborative space where students, faculty, and staff can come together to do the necessary work to move our campus forward. As you walk through the courtyard or take a peek into the squad room, you can see the elements of that intentionality present. So as you walk these halls, as you take these tours today, you will find a building that attempts to move our campus forward. From the student nodes embedded into the corners of the hallways for students to gather and prep for their next course, to helping our campus meet sustainability goals and providing working mothers with a lactation room, a space to provide sustenance to the next generation of future Hornets. It was an honor to work alongside my colleagues and the other members of this building user group, and it is still surreal standing here seeing our vision, our collective vision, come to life. So from all of us, bienvenidos, and thank you for this building. I will now present our very own alumni and amazing classified professional, Amy Schreck.
Hi. My first semester as a full-time student at Fullerton College, I enrolled in French 101 and English 100, which were scheduled in building 500 rooms, 527 and 522. I do remember that. And I thought, wow, this is such an interesting building. No, I didn't, I'm kidding, I didn't think that. I was busy learning stuff. Later, I enrolled in Essentials of Argumentation and Critical Thinking, and I believe both of those were housed in the 700 building. But I didn't realize how far-flung the classes and offices of humanities were until I returned as a classified professional 13 years later to the Humanities Division. I felt a great deal of nostalgia returning to the 500 building where I began as a student. And then I felt like I was getting a really good workout, traipsing all over campus to serve our staff and students in nearly every single building. Fullerton College has always felt like home to me, and myself and the other classified staff are thrilled to have this stunning building that is truly ours, and to have a little rest. I was honored to be on both the selection committee for the architect and builder team, as well as the building user group. And I want to express gratitude for everyone involved in that enormously successful and deeply collaborative process. I cannot imagine it going better. And I want to give special thanks to Megan Muskol, who was the point person for our division through the entire process of designing, building, and moving in. And I don't know how we could have done it without her patience and attention to detail. She took a lot of texts from me, like every day, even yesterday, texting her constantly. And lastly, I would like to acknowledge our former Dean, Dan Willoughby. We would not have this building if he hadn't mentioned at every opportunity and every meeting that the Humanities Division was in great need of a home to call our own. Dan, we love our new building, thank you. And now please welcome back to the stage Interim President Gil Contreras.
All right, how about a round of applause for all of our speakers? You know, one of the themes you heard from the remarks today is community. At Fullerton College, community is one of our core values. And it takes a community to pass a bond that ends in a beautiful building like this that facilitates community building. So for all the members of our community who have graced us with your presence here today, welcome home to Fullerton College. You are always welcome at 321 East Chapman. This is your home. In closing this event, there are so many people to thank, and I want to thank Dr. Breland for acknowledging the folks who put this event together. I want to highlight a few areas in particular. Our Director of Campus Communications, Lisa McFerrin, and her entire team in Campus Communications, thank you. the Humanities Division for all your hard work in organizing this event, and our interim Dean Kim Orligen and former Dean, retired Dean Dan Willoughby, thank you for all your hard work. I also want to give a special thanks to our classified professionals, especially from our facilities area and the leadership of Larry Lara and Randy Harris and Stephen Trapp. Our grounds are always immaculate. This building is immaculate. It takes a lot of hard work and love to keep a campus up like this that's over 100 years old, and I really want to appreciate the hard work of our teams and facilities. Thank you. So a few housekeeping notes. We're going to move this along. Housekeeping notes, COVID-19 safety protocol at Fullerton College. We require masks indoors, so if you need a mask, there are some at the welcome table. Please pick one up as we enter the facilities. And during the open house, there's several members that have blue and yellow ribbons on them. They're going to help guide you through the areas. They're available to answer any questions you may have. We also have tours of our central plant. Please take one of those tours. They're happening every 15 minutes. You can see our sustainable practices in action, so important. And now it's the time we've all been waiting for. That ribbon's barely holding on. We're ready to cut it. So if I can have all the speakers who spoke today come up, and the members of our Board of Trustees join us as well, including our Leonard Latner, former trustee. Please join us for the ribbon cutting. Get a picture of that way.